Howdy. So I saw Another Year yesterday, and I really enjoyed it. I'm giving it an 8. It's about life, pretty much. It's a slice of life. I'd say the prevailing themes are loneliness, love, acceptance. You get the drift. It basically follows a couple for a year, divided up into seasons. But though the couple is the central characters, it's really more about their friends and the people who come into their life. The people who have been in their life and, show up during the year. It's written and directed by Mike Leigh. I always thought it was Mike Leigh, but it's Mike Leigh. Mike Leigh is one of our great filmmakers. He pretty much makes a movie a year, or every other year, definitely, like clockwork. He's a British filmmaker. I think some regard him as the great British filmmaker, English filmmaker. I saw this basically. I'm not a Mike Leigh fan, meaning that I know he is a great filmmaker, but I have not seen many of his works, so I cannot call myself a fan. I really can't call myself versed in Mike Leigh, even. Now this is the second film of his I've seen, but I saw Happy Go Lucky, which was his last film, in the theater. And for lack of a better term, Happy Go Lucky kind of changed my life. It was one of my favorite movies of, 2008? I can't remember if it was 09 or 08. But it was in my top 3, I believe, if my memory serves correctly. I loved Happy Go Lucky. I mean, and again, the performances in it were amazing. I thought the film was amazing, and I felt different when I came out of there. So, that, for me, earned Mike Leigh a pass. Now I have to see his movies. Now I have to know his work. So, Another Year comes around, and it's like, well, alright, I owe it to him now, and I've got to see it. Now, I know that he's had some masterpieces. I think Secrets and Lies is regarded as his best. I also know that Vera Drake is also regarded as one of his best. So I need to watch those two, I know. But I knew I needed to go see Another Year. At least I felt that I owed it to him to go see it. And again, I enjoyed it, but I can tell that this is not one of his greats. Though it's really good, again, I doubt he makes subpar films, but I can tell that it's just not one of his very best. I thought a little of it felt forced here and there. Not much, but just a little bit, where I know Happy Go Lucky, which is a 10 for me, just flowed effortlessly. Mike Leigh is very interesting, and I think for actors, I think it's very important to go see his work because he works differently. He works in a unique style where he writes the script and the story. I think he has a storyline in mind, but then writes the script and the character nuance by working personally with the actors in rehearsal. So the cast and the director, in essence, write the screenplay together, create the characters, and then after many months, film what they've been working on, film what they have. So that way of working delivers performances that are incredibly nuanced, subtle. They communicate with their eyes. It's very almost technical stuff, I think. And it's great to watch. You don't see performances like that. You don't see many films like Mike Leigh films. So I now believe it's very important to appreciate his work. And as an actor, it's very intimidating. They say that most of it is improvised, and I don't. Wow, I mean, that's impressive. I couldn't imagine that, especially at this depth. Again, it's really just a unique thing to witness. I think. The actors in this movie are some of his steadfast. Jim Broadbent, who I absolutely love. Jim Broadbent is great. Moulin Rouge was one of my favorite movies. I think I actually put it at #1 the year it came out, because I just had never seen anything like it. I was like, what was that? And I think a large part of that was due to Jim Broadbent, because it was the first time I'd ever seen Jim Broadbent, and he's great in that movie, in Moulin Rouge. He's great in everything, pretty much. Gangs of New York, he's great here. And a character I really haven't seen him play is just the, straight man. The dad, really. I wish I could remember other names. I want to say Imelda Staunton. And I should remember a name because she's the highlight of the film. And I can't remember her name, and it's bugging me. Anyway, even though, again, the couple, it's all about their life and the people who come into it, there's one person who shows up every season, who's in every season, and it's the ladies, the moms, wives, whatever, co-worker from work. And gosh, I wish I could remember her name. It's going to kill me. And I wanted to remember it too, but I cannot. Anyway, her performance is great. She didn't get any award nominations for at least the Oscars or the Golden Globes. She might have gotten some smaller things, but she's wonderful. She's very lonely. She's older. She plays younger, though. I mean, to the crowd around her. She dresses young, acts young. She's very lonely. Her performance is very powerful. Again, the movie is pretty much about her. And I can't believe I can't think of her name. But it's just an amazing performance. Just jittery. Never stops moving. Communicates with her eyes beautifully. Just a tremendous performance, and I can't believe that I can't think of her name right now. But again, the reason I'm not giving it a higher score is because I felt that it just felt a little forced in some areas, and just because I've only seen Happy Go Lucky, I know how smooth Mike Leigh films can run. And it just didn't seem as smooth as it could have been. But still, just so intelligent, so smart, very wise. You can learn something from watching this film. There's philosophies to be mined here. It's just smart. It's a really good movie. It's a really good movie, and Mike Leigh is a great filmmaker. So I think you should see it. I guess it's not entirely important to see it on the big screen. Again, it does demand your focus. It's pretty much 2 hours of at least 4 to 5 people talking in conversation mode, you know, sitting around a dinner table, talking over wine, sitting on a porch swing and talking, and standing in the rain and talking. So it does demand focus, but it does reward you with subtle character work and becoming involved in these characters' world, if you choose to lose yourself. You can. So again, I think it's a solid 8. I'm definitely glad I saw it. I need to know more about the films of Mike Leigh, and I look forward to that. So I think that's pretty much all I've got to say. It was very, British. Sometimes the language is hard to crack, even though, you know, we're all English speakers or whatever. Their English is a little bit different, and sometimes you've got to listen closely and, know what they're talking about. Again, that's just like a little side note for Americans. And it, at times, appeared, kind of inexpensively made. There's like little audio glitches. It could have been the theater, I don't know. But there were audio glitches and some picture glitches. So, again, that might have been the theater. But it added to the charm of the film and what have you. So I think that's really all I've got to say now. So that's Another Year. Really good movie. I give it an 8. And if you're a Mike Leigh fan, then you definitely already know about it. Will see it. Should see it. And if you just like, smart movies about life, slice of life, love and wisdom, then this is the film for you. So that's Another Year. It's an 8. Thanks a lot.